And we're live. I don't know how many people are watching. I don't know how many people. I wonder if you get it right from start. I don't know.
This is what hang on a minute. Sorry, this is why we need Heath's introduction thing.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Just so that there's something to listen to while we're jabbering, wondering if anybody's listening. So
yeah, well, I can put 30-second overlays on, so we could put some visuals and some music. So a 30-second overlay at the start would do well.
Cool.
So
anyway, do you like my new studio?
It's all right, isn't it? Have you took over?
Well, I just thought that there was more chance of me landing on the moon than ever being in a BBC News studio, so I thought I'd build my own.
Well, you've got moon as well, just in case, haven't you?
Oh, actually, hang on a minute. Well, I can have. Why do you want me to have?
What? No. Yeah, whenever you want, mate. Whenever you want. You can change it. Oh, there you go. Fucking, you've got Neil Armstrong creeping up on you. Well, we don't know if it's Neil Armstrong because all you can see is a fucking mirror.
True.
Isn't it? Anyway, welcome to Raconteurs News. It's a Monday edition now. I didn't organise a guest for the simple reason my internet's been going off and coming on for the last few days. It went off yesterday and it was off all day until I last went to bed. So today it's been on and off, and we were trying to test this earlier on, weren't we, AD? And it were going off and it were coming back on, and so we've had some farting about, but we thought we'd just put something together. We thought we'd come on anyway, just to amuse you, because we know that you're rather you miss us if we're not about on a Monday even.
Do you know? There is actually something I want to talk about. Today I had a really, really interesting conversation with a lady, and she's got a son, and if you met him, you'd just think he was really quiet. And I don't think he's ever been given an ADHD label or anything like that.
Right.
But you know, his schoolwork, his exams and that don't mean anything to him. You can show him a lot of things to read and he'll just be sort of, but why? But then he hears something about, like, say, the moon landings, and he'll say, never happened that, you know. And he's 16. And they're just predicting that he'll fail everything.
It's not ADHD anymore, it's ASD.
Oh, is that what it is?
My wife's told me.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, hyperactive and that. It don't sound like that.
No, he's not hyperactive, bro. No.
No. So it's autistic spectrum disorder, probably. I don't know. We're diagnosing people live on air, and I'm doctor.
Yeah. No, I think the point is, when he's being shown or told anything at school, there's two things arise. One of which is, I don't believe you, why you're talking so much crap. He don't say it, but that's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to teach him about the moon landings and all the rest of it. And his logical brain is saying to him, but that didn't happen. And then when they're trying to teach him about history and all the rest of it, I think his other thing is, well, you're trying to teach me all this, but it don't mean anything to me. And because of that, he's completely failed the school system in his eyes. And I put it the other way. No. The school system's failed him. Because the school system is just a indoctrination into...
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, it's failed.
When to shut up, you know, but it because of how he is, it's not even taught him to read and write properly. No,
and that's disgusting. He should have been taught that at an early age. I mean, we're not talking about comprehensive age here, where you need to learn to read and write. I know there are people that get caught behind and everything, but if the motivation's there to want to be able to read and write, then you know, most people, it's not that difficult to teach somebody to read. I taught somebody to read years ago. I taught him to fucking years and years ago. and it's not that difficult a process once you get when you get little basics. He obviously knew what these shapes were and stuff from school and what have you. So yeah, but it's not that difficult. But yeah, once that's a fundamental thing that should have been right at the very beginning. Look at him; he's playing with his green screen thing all the time.
No, I'm not. It's not a green screen. What are you talking about? No,
sorry.
I thought I'd turned my volume down, and I didn't. I turned it off. So, and I'm wondering why I couldn't hear you.
Well, that'll be why. Well, I'm not saying it again because I can't even remember what it were. Anyway, let's say some to happy hello, big hello to you all in the chat room. Apple Charlotte's in there. Apple, I was going to try and find my email address for you, and I was going to invite you on the show tonight. So if you fancy coming on, send me an email. Well, let me know you've sent me an email, and I'll send you the address if you fancy coming on, because I know that you're someone who's got quite a lot to say, and obviously you don't have to show yourself to the perverts among us like Super Leeds and what's the other one, Taylor, who by the way had his first. Well, not his first actually, because he's been on here, hasn't he? But he had he was invited on a show last night, Sips Clips, which I watched for a while.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to, I mean, how did he go on? I did watch some of it, but I got the impression that there wasn't really very much that he said. The guy Sips, we've had him on here before. It's at him who we're at you all the time, calling you a cunt. You know, there's a way to do things. I don't know if that's the right way, but he was on there last night, so hopefully he's come away from that unscathed and feeling okay. And to be fair, from what I watched, Sip were quite polite with him, and he treated him with a lot of respect. So, but I didn't watch it all because when you've got a night, you've got a night off, Sunday night, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to listen to.
No, I know. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it's. Yeah, I know.
Oh, hang up. AD's camera's gone off. Is that on purpose, Ada?
No, I'm just. Hang on a minute. I'm just seeing what looks best, really. So I just need people to tell me what looks best, really.
Well, can you do the green screen thing where what it does, it like fades your art, doesn't it? Like you.
Oh, I can do that.
Like if you go on off your on what's its thing, do that and then just show the thing behind. I think that's probably what's going to look best.
Just the green.
But it does, doesn't it? It like goes like you're on Starship Enterprise and you're being beaten up by Scotty.
You mean like that?
Up, Scotty? Apple Charlotte, good. Yes, she's got bag abscesses. Her throat's sore, so she's not going to be coming on. But I just thought about it anyway. Ron Malcolm's in there, Stewie as well. Johnny Jam Shovel. Good evening to you, Johnny. Thank you very much for your write-ups. They will be put on. It's just that this machine's had to be redone and recalibrated back to fuck all shit, back to the Stone Age, and it's had to then start again. So I've lost things like Microsoft Word and stuff like that. But I will have them back in. I'm working on ways of doing it anyway. So they'll be going up, mate. They're not being ignored, and a big thanks for doing that as well. And Alice is in there as well. Get well soon, Apple. That's from Alice Georgeson, Ellicat George. Super Leeds, as usual, he's going to get the. I don't know whether it's going to be 15 minutes from the end or half an hour from the end, and then for 15 minutes. But I've promised him I'll put up a picture of a bomb site. So we just we'll wait till then. So your guy then, is he? Do you talk to him often about stuff, and does he pick up on things? Because people generally tend to think that if you're not talking about quantum physics or fucking Love Island, then you're a bit of a loner and a bit thick and stupid.
Oh, you mean this young lad? Yeah. No, and to be honest, I don't see him that often. It's normally his mum I speak to. But this poor kid, he just don't fit in this bollocks world. And I know what that feels like, because most of the people listening to this probably feel that. But this kid's 16 and struggling at school. So he's got all this lot to deal with, and he don't know why he don't fit in. But the reason he don't fit in is because all the useless shite they're trying to teach him at school, his logical brain is saying to him, "But that's useless, that's pointless, so why do I need to know it?"
And that's what I sort of had at school, is that I used to argue with teachers all the time about it, but they just thought that would be being disruptive.
Yeah.
And then they do IQ tests in school, and I'm expected to be Dougies, and I come out on top.
Yeah.
So it's just it's keeping people interested as well. It is keeping people's attention is quite difficult. And that's a good thing about teaching. If you can keep people's attention, then you're going to be a good teacher.
The trouble is, teachers aren't allowed to teach now. They've just got to read off a bloody a book as some curriculum that some politician thinks that the kids need to be indoctrinated with.
Oh, fuck off. Did you say 97, love?
Sorry, because you're not listening to me, Jason.
I am listening to you. Yeah, I am listening to you. Yeah, it's. Hi guys, did you get the memo regards the shill making you famous? Oh, I've not had that memo, shill. If you could,
are we famous now?
It looks like it. So if you could, let us know where that is. We'll go and have a look. We always like being famous, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you see, there's downsides to it. Kobe Bryant. Have you heard about Kobe Bryant?
That's the
basketball player.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
who was killed? Terrible accident. Killed, I think, 6 people. But what you've got to remember is, if you weren't a basketball player, he wouldn't be in that helicopter, would he?
No.
It's all circumstances. You don't know where your circumstances are going to eventually lead you to. And although you might find that you've got preferable circumstances, then that's not necessarily the way that it's going to end. You see that? I got all posh then.
You ended
to do with Leeds.
No, I think the main. Oh, it was what's it? Leicester City, wasn't it? He died in a helicopter and all, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I actually dreamt about that and predicted it on the show. I did say on the show. I'm pretty certain, because I met Andy at one of these UFO conferences that we went to, and I said I've had this dream last night, and it was really, really, vivid and everything, and said it was a blue. I thought it were an aeroplane. But it were a blue aircraft that had crashed into like an industrial area, and I'd had that dream, and then suddenly that happens. That happens. So I think I'm probably a bit of a soothsayer.
As a what?
A bit of a soothsayer.
Yeah.
Kobe's pilot was called Captain Something Wong. See, it all comes out, doesn't it? You should do this. I remember when I were a youth, and back in the day, and all it were text messages. Well, not when a youth, in my 20s, but it was text messages. Whenever something happened, there'd be text messages, jokes going about, wouldn't there?
I'll tell you what is good. On New Year's Eve, 10, 20 years ago, you used to get about 1,000 fucking text messages that started about 2 days before and ended 2 days after of Happy New Year. Everybody doing these, send to all.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, on New Year's Eve, I got 3 messages.
Yeah, because people do it on social media,
and I think you. That was it. Which brill.
Yeah,
I don't need 1,000 messages.
People do it on social media. Hi, everybody. I'm going to be. It's usually around about 8 o'clock. Just cause to miss the chaos later on, I'd like to say to all my friends and family, Happy New Year to you all. And it's the most disingenuous thing that people write. It's just like they feel that they're allowed to do it.
Yeah, it is. Hang on a minute. We need to do something here. Just talk amongst yourself. I just need to do something.
Okay.
Are you talking?
Huh? I'm talking. Midnight God. Oh God, I'm fucking coughing. That's next thing we need to invest in, a cough button.
A cough button?
Yeah. They have them in proper fucking studios and stuff like that, don't they? Keith M is in there. Dot as well, Tony. Good evening to you. Midnight Gardener. All the usual faces and some new ones. Shield Destroyer was in there telling us that we'd been made famous, I'm assuming, by him. So if you can pop us a link, or in fact, if he wants to come on and tell us why we're famous, we'll get him on, as long as he's polite and respectful towards everybody here. He'll be able to come on. We'll have him on. So Bollocks is in there as well. Bob Fleming, yeah, that's right. That's what we're doing. And it's made me do it again. The most interesting thing about these horse brasses is that's Fast Show, just in case you didn't know, Aid.
Who?
Fast Show. The Fast Show. Remember Fast Show from the 90s? Paul Whitehouse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they had that bloke that used to cough all the time. They call him Bob Fleming, and that's me now tonight.
Bob Fleming. Sorry, but that is funny, isn't it? Right, I just want to. I don't know if I can do this, but hang on a minute. Oh my word! What am I going to get rid of? That one. It's all right. You can only have 10 screens, which is a bit annoying.
I know it's a bit annoying, but I think we'll probably on the higher up bit you probably be able to get loads, but this is just good enough for us.
Right, Leeds, how's that?
Look at that. That's Ellen Road, Leeds. Bell End Road. Look at that. Right. Anyway, so if I put mine on and then we do it for 15 minutes. We'll be able to fulfilled our
contractual obligations.
Yes, fucking hell. I've got people in front of me. I've got people behind me. I need one of them idiot boards, I think. There you go. A well-lit green screen is required. Yes, well, we've got one there. Can you see that? So there you go. That should fulfill our contractual obligations towards Leeds for this evening for quite a while. Ron Malcolm, blah, 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 Shield Destroyer. What's that one? Did you get a link? No, I didn't get a link, actually. Have you sent it in a private message?
Just can't you email it to Mark?
Oh, do you got a link, did he say?
Yeah, do you got a link? Yeah.
No, he said, did you get a link? I've got a link. But
email it to him.
Do you want it? I don't know what his email is.
Mark, just put your email in the chat room, mate, so that Jason can send you a link.
Or email it to jasonholmes98@aol.com, which will be open. I'll open that up now so that you can... and then I can reply to you and give you the link. You'll have to carry. I'm trying to get onto the AOL. Oh, there we go. That's there now. So if you send that send a message to jasonholmes98@aol.com, then we'll get you on, and we'll find out why we are famous. Oh, I love being famous, me. Does this mean we get like loads of birds and that?
Probably not.
Well, no, obviously not, because I'm married, but there you go, see.
Sorry, Danielle, did you say something?
I said...
Yeah, there you go. What I meant were, are we going to be inundated with budgies and parrots and stuff like that? I love parrots, me, and budgies. Listen to her, she's humming behind me. It's like fucking, my phone's on silent.
So, has Mark sent you an email?
Let me have a look.
Because Mike normally has some decent stuff to talk about, actually. He's probably a good stimulation for our brain nodules.
Well, what do you think about are we going to die of this disease that's happening?
Well, I'm still waiting to get bird flu, pig flu, swine flu, foot and mouth disease. What else am I still waiting to get? Bird flu.
SARS.
Hey, yeah, that I'm still waiting to get that as well.
Don't even know what that stood for. What did it stand for?
You what, mate? Sorry.
You fucking do it pissing about with your green screen, aren't
No,
you?
I'm reading message. I'm reading the messages down here in this corner.
Oh, all right then.
Now I found that they're there.
So,
How many months have I been on here and didn't know I could see messages?
I know. The fucking bell end. You're a proper fucking bell end, mate. But, look at him. He's not looking about in his thing.
No, oh no, I've left it over there.
What you lost?
Oh, no.
Apart from your fucking mind. Just while he's doing that, he's bending over and I don't know what he's doing. I think he's tying his shoelace or something like that. No need for me to do that. I ain't tied a shoelace in fucking God knows how long. We were dropping something else. Super Leeds. Billy Bremner looks good, Tony. Ron Malcolm says, swine. Jason versus the 13th. What happened to mad cow disease?
Yeah.
Exactly. Creutzfeldt-Jakob's disease, as it was called. For
JD, yeah.
The human form of mad cow disease. So I don't think there's going to be any panic over here. It's just
something like 7 or 9 point something million people live in the city that hang on, before I do this, I just want to point out the only reason that we think there's anything happening anywhere is because of what's on the normal news. So what I'm about to say, I've not researched, I'm just repeating what other people have said and what's been on the shitty news. And that is that there's this virus, a flu-type virus, that presents itself rather like pneumonia, I think they said. And there's 60 or 70 people at the moment that have got it. So it's not exactly a fucking 1 in 3, or it's not exactly the Black Plague, is it?
No, of course it's not. But
it's not in the, for the people that have died and their families, I mean, this is not fucking good.
If there's anybody that's died.
Exactly my point.
We don't know, do we?
No, exactly the point. Do we know? Because, when you look at all the other shite that were fed on the telly, is it just another one of the things that they want us to think about? That they want us to believe that's stopping us thinking about something else?
Yeah. Well, it is. It's all a distraction. It's got to be on it.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody gets how many people? 30 odd people get ill in one part of a fucking country, miles and miles away from it.
70, but the city's something like 7 or 9 million. It's it's not the size of Scunthorpe. It's not 250,000 people. It's it's a fair old few apparently. What?
This is just sliding under the green screen.
What, you mean you're not at Ellen Road?
No, she's just flown past in a hot air balloon.
In a helicopter, careful it don't crash.
Oh yeah, she bought a broomstick over there, didn't you, love? Yeah. Well, not actually just a broomstick, it had the broom on end as well. It's to replace the one that she'd had for 15 years. It had 12 new heads and 17 new handles.
And is that all?
Oh dear.
Oh my word.
Arse injected death sentence. AIDS, not my invention. School banter. That's from Heath. Yeah, that's what we used to call it at school.
Yeah, exactly.
Death sentence. When we were kids, and let's face it, anything's
fair game for taking the piss out of when you're a kid, isn't it?
No, yeah, of course it is.
Well, I think my point with this flu virus or whatever it's called is, there's people die of stuff every day, like, I don't know, malaria, dengue fevers, all sorts of shit going on. But I think this has made the news because apparently it's a new thing. It's unknown up until, a few days ago. But like I said, is it? Isn't it? Was it? Because all we know is what they've told us on the news.
Yeah.
There's nothing independent coming out. I've got a. Actually, I could. What time is it? I'll send her a message now. I've got a friend in Shanghai. I don't know how far she is from. Send her a message and see if we get anything back.
Yeah, send her. See, well, she might be fucking dead by now.
No, she sent me a message yesterday.
She will be dead by now already.
She sent me a message. Said, "Where are we? Happy New Year." Can you read that?
Okay. Was that Chinese New Year or our New Year?
No, hers, because she's Chinese.
Oh, right, okay. So it weren't that long ago then?
No, it's just the other day. What shall I put? Hi, Jenny. I hope you well.
I hope you.
This new illness, because of course she's going to press the button and translate this into Chinese. Hi, Jenny. I hope you are well, and this new illness isn't. No, I can't put that. Is not. You got to be so careful with short things and whatever. Affecting you or your family. How's that?
We had a question actually from Keith M a bit earlier on, and he wanted to know what is the bourbon you drink?
The bourbon that I drink, it's Bullet bourbon.
Bullet bourbon, where'd you get that from and how much is it? Everybody wants to know.
It's normally on offer in one of them, one at supermarkets for about 22 quid. It's not the real price, about 28 quid a bottle. But it's normally Asda, Morrison's or Sainsbury's have got it on at 22 quid normally. But they do two. There's one with a green label, which is, that's a rye, which is a really rough, hot, spicy, almost chili flavoured whiskey. But that's proper rye, hard. Don't get that. You want the one with the little orange label on it.
Right, okay. I'm not getting it at all.
I mean, Jack Daniels to me is just sweet and sickly, and so I like something quite. And I think a lot of it, since the Bell's palsy started, my taste buds, everything is just all gone to cock.
Right.
So whereas before I wouldn't even have mustard on anything, now if I do eat a piece of steak, which isn't often, probably 3 or 4 times a year, I have to have about that much mustard piled on top, a big thick layer, like butter on bread.
So what you're admitting is that your taste buds
are fucked.
Your taste buds have gone to cock. So is that all? Is that all
Actually, I did say that. And it was recorded.
You did say that it's gone to cock. I don't know what that. I don't know where we.
Yeah.
We've got a family audience here. I don't think we've swore yet today, have we?
Best not fucking swear then.
No, fucking hell. Be a proper nightmare. Did Aid take the antiviral steroids straight away when the bells came on? Because I know he suffered from it. And here we go.
This is what happened, right? My ex, who I was living with at the time, she'd gone to work about an hour before me. She had to be at work at something daft like 7:30 that morning. At the time, she was what could you call her? What was it? Her official title was something like project manager for the technical side of banking, like backroom staff. So when there was any new equipment being installed, it could be global. She was the one who was in charge of implementing it all. And she'd got to be at work this particular morning really early because she was on a tele meeting with people in about 4 different time zones. So she'd had to go into work at some daft like 7 in the morning. So she'd gone to work. I'm stood in the bathroom having a shave, and my face just like I've had a stroke. And I'm looking in the mirror thinking, I'm fucking melting. What's going on here? So 999 gets the ambulance and all the rest of it, get to the hospital, and it's the weirdest 999 ever when they open the back doors of the ambulance and they just say, come on then. And then they point to the lift and they say, it's over there, get in the lift. And I'm thinking, should I not be on a stretcher or, you know. Anyway, none of that happened. And they just said, can you go up to, I think it was something like the 6th or 7th floor or something. So then I get out and I find myself in the stroke unit, an heart attack unit. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck, I must have had one then. They do all these tests. And my ex at this time, she's Googling everything. What can be wrong with him? What can be... Because, I mean, she was really good. You know, I can't knock her for stuff like that. She was really good. Anyway, we get called into this office. Been sat in the hospital probably 4 hours. And this professor says, oh, nothing wrong with you. And I went, well, why is my face melting? Well, it's your 7th cranial nerve, which is just in here. Explains it all. And then he starts talking about, my ex asks about medication. Well, she would always opt for the medication. My natural stance would be, no, you know, I'm not taking any medication. And she actually sat down and she said to me, look, I know you don't normally like medication, but this time, you know, you've not had a stroke. You've got this thing called Bell's palsy. You know, whatever they recommend you take, you're going to have to do it because this time it's not a headache. It's not a bit of pain in your leg. You know, this is... So I went, okay, not a problem. So we sat in this guy's office and she actually asked about steroids. And he said, no, you don't need those. Everything will be fine. You'll just go back to normal. Okay. So 4 days later, I've still got my eye like it is. I mean, if you look at the moment, it's half closed. I'm booked in to have some Botox paid for by our lovely NHS in a couple of weeks' time. And that'll open my eye up. And this side of my forehead works, but this side doesn't. So Botox is all in here to stop that working, to kind of even it up. And he Botoxes my eye to open it up, and then all around my mouth and down my neck to sort of relax it all. Because 4 days after, I rang the same department and said, I've been looking on the internet and it says I should have had steroids. And the professor said, oh, you've got to have those in the first 72 hours. And I said, well, I was there within a fucking 2 hours. Never mind, 72 hours. Oh, yeah, but it's too late now, so it'll probably be like it for the rest of your life.
Wow.
So I'm like, wankers. Yeah.
Damn, that's horrible. I know he does suffer from it and he has it on occasion, but I think he's been lucky enough to see somebody who's realised what it is straight away and get him the medication, so it goes away after a while. So there's the answer to that question. Mahatma Malevolence has put bird flu, swine flu, and Kung flu. That's in China, isn't it?
As
Kung flu flight in. I only did that to put it in my wife's head.
Is Mark not coming on?
No, I've not heard of. I don't know I don't know what crack is with him. Yeah, pack of wankers. I don't know who that is. Tony's in there. Went to hospital with an ingrowing toenails and they decapitated me. I was livid. Yeah. Don't surprise me. You what, love? Has he got no head then? So yeah, he's got no head now. He's not even got a name. He's just a dot.
Who's a dot?
It just his consciousness just survives on the internet. So you can only ever speak to him on the internet because he's got no head. Can they not see my message as okay? I can see your messages, Sil. I don't know.
Yeah, we can see it, but Oh, your email. Is it? Have a look on your email, Jace.
I've looked on my email, mate. I've just looked now, and there is nothing new there. I will refresh it. What is it? F5. I can never fucking see these bastard numbers. Can you? Why have an F5 that's like an important thing and then just put it right small in corner? I hope this is the right one. F5. No, I'll do that one then instead.
Yeah, Jace, what do you think of this one?
BBC World News, mate. That's it.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I can't see. There's no email. I don't know if he's putting it in the chat room, but he can privately. I'm sure you could private. Oh yeah, private chat. I don't know if that's just between me and you. Can you see where we can talk about?
Whoa. Hang on a minute. No, stop it.
It's in the spam box. Is it in the spam box, Jason? Let's have a look there. Spam. No. Not in the spam box. So I don't know where it is, and I can't see the messages sometimes. Is the spam? No, it's not. It's not in the spam box. It's not in my spam purse either. He forget that one. And anybody that were around at the start of the internet will get that one. The old spam purse. Thinking about your gash. What about a test card aid? What about what?
Oh, you mean the one with Patsy Kensit on it?
Has it got Patsy Kensit on it?
The original one did, yeah. That was Patsy Kensit, weren't it?
She were a right fucking dog then, weren't she? Then
when she were a little kid with balloons. Test card.
No, it's that one where she sat here with that chalkboard.
No, that one weren't Patsy Kensit.
Writing things on it, and then there's like things. That's what I was talking about.
Hey, we could do a test card though, couldn't we? Anyway, I think I look pretty good in my dark studio, so that'll do me. Axe wound.
Yeah, the old axe wound. Let's not get around this. We do have female listeners, and we're just going to be talking about their cloppers all night if we carry on at this rate. I even checked page 3 girl Karen Brennan.
I once knocked on a door in a village near Immingham called I can't remember. And Samantha Fox opened the door in a dressing gown.
All right.
With no makeup on. And I can just remember standing there and doing this. And she said,
were you looking at each tit?
No.
Was it that bad that you were looking at each tit individually?
Hello, when I went, hello. She said, are you looking for something? I went, yeah, Jeremy Beadle. Because you don't expect to knock on an old day's door and a page 3 girl open the door with no makeup on, her hair not done, and a bathrobe on. Anyway, it turns out it was a mate's auntie and she'd gone to see her. So, yeah, how mad is that? So, yeah.
Oh, it's right. I'm going to have a look. You carry on talking. It's on his last video in comments, his email address. So, I shall go to YouTube.
Yes, can I make a suggestion? Just put the link in the fucking chat room and then he can click on it.
That's not a bad idea, that actually, Ada. But then we'll get all fucking everyone.
Yeah, but you don't have to let one. You can just fuck them off.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah. Aid, my mum has just been diagnosed with Bell's palsy, and she wasn't given steroids. They have told her 6 to 12 months for it to clear up. I think they said.
Yeah, well, they told me that, and that was 5-6 years ago. And if you look, this eye's half closed, and I can't do anything with it. This side of my mouth don't work. It took me a long time, and I mean a real long time, and I still have to think about it. And bearing in mind, this is a guy who used to do voiceovers and stuff, and I kind of spent half my life with one of these in my hand, singing and all sorts. And it took me a long time to be able to say F. And you can see now, I really got to think about if I'm saying the letter F. And for a long time, I used to be thinking about what I was going to say and avoid words with an F because I couldn't say it. So my vocabulary changed because I knew there were words that I couldn't say without what I thought looking a complete fucking idiot. So, but yeah. But no, if you're going to have the steroid, you've got to have them within 72 hours, apparently. So that's
right. There we go. Hang on, it's on. We've
Oh,
got him. Shield Destroyer.
Come on, Mark.
Hello.
Hello. I've not seen you.
No, I'm a bit, word for word today.
Oh, good.
So anyway, I was telling you about I put the link in the private chat there because apparently you couldn't see the link that I kept putting down.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just one of the Tommy Robinson type hailing on about how great he is. So I outed him, and then he's coming back with a silly little video, and apparently he couldn't find any other of me live, so he picked you two guys when I was live with you, and he like calls us all like names, and I don't know, just.
Oh, am I famous? Oh, cool.
Yeah, just.
I saw there was a YouTube thing. Was it yesterday or the day before or whenever? And it said he's accepting some award or accepting something.
Oh yeah, the award. If you have a look into the person who runs the company that give him the award, yeah, it's a bloke who actually got done for racism. Shouted a whole load of stuff, but literally, it's like I make a limited company, yeah, and I decide to give you an award, yeah, and I can call that award whatever I like, and of course all these channels highlight it as like some international award, and of course I could call it an international award, and it's for freedom of speech. I mean, Jesus, but it was just they're obviously targeting Denmark, and there's a whole load of Denmark people come on my videos abusing me. This guy, the guy that I put the video there, see, he done it on purpose to get all his gammon lot over to hate on me, didn't he? And I started to get yesterday. I'm just inundated with, scumbags sending me nasty messages, but. It's a good way to sort of pull it up, and then you can find the ones that are just easily led, and you can find the ones that are just evil, so you can block the evil ones, which I've done.
Yeah, but it's like awards. I mean, for fuck's sake, I tell you how stupid they are. Here's a good one for you. How many presidents have had the American presidents in my lifetime have had the Nobel Peace Prize?
Yeah. Well, look at Hitler. Hitler got Time Man magazine of the year, didn't he, in 1938? Hitler, right? But it shows, and like I said, these ions give themselves the awards, don't they? They make the awards and then give it out to their and make them feel and make us all believe, oh well, they must be really great because they got an award.
Yeah. I mean, when I worked in selling all the equipment in the entertainment industry, I mean, it could be literally from a microphone to 200,000 quid's worth of line array speakers, amplifiers, the lot, everything. And whenever you saw anybody who was taking notice of what was written in a magazine, either an advert or a top 10 of, like top 10 microphones, an SM58, this is an SM58A, Beta 58, for those who care. Well, an SM58 was industry standard since 1958, because that's why it's called an SM58. Shure microphone SM58. And the one that was the year before, guess what that was called? That was an SM57. Yeah. Now, these things have been used by bands, musicians, TV studios, for fucking years. But if a company like Sennheiser brought out a cheap microphone, and they actually do some really good stuff, but some of which I've got, but if they brought out a shit microphone, bottom of the range, you could guarantee it'd be in the top 10 of microphones above an SM58. Simply because in that magazine, Sennheiser had paid for some advertising. So whenever you read in any magazine, the top 10 cameras, the top 10 fucking mixing consoles, the top 10 glasses, don't matter, the top 10 lighters, the one that will come top is the one that paid the biggest money for the fucking advert on the center spread. So it don't matter what you're talking about. When there's an industry around it involved, you'll never find out what's the best, or you've just got to do your own work and try. And it's the same with anything. When they look at who did, who said, or who gets a top 10, or who gets an award, or da-da-da-da-da, it's because of either somebody needs to be seen to be receiving something, like Linda Lasardi, or they want you to believe something or divert you away from something. So when you get anybody getting an award, or the top 10, or you got to buy this, or what, there's always going to be an industry standard that'll always be there, that everything else is measured upon. And I think the industry standard for the Nobel Peace Prize was probably Barack Obama. So if that doesn't tell you that awards are just fucking pointless, nothing will.
Well, exactly. Well, and time again, we just see evil fuckers getting these, like the peace prizes, the freedom prizes. Yeah. It's like, it's a joke. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, what have they done? Oh yeah, Tommy hijacked her freedom of speech meet in Speaker's Corner. Then just put out a quick marketing video saying, I'm going, I'm not there to hate. I'm just there because I believe in freedom of speech. And then within 2 days, he's now the top speaker at the same event. Not that was planned, of course. And then he's hijacked that and turned them all into Muslim hating thugs. And now he's a freedom of speech warrior, apparently.
Well, we'll have to see how famous. I'll have to click on that later and have a look.
Well, I've put it in chat room anyway.
Yeah, you'll see.
Oh,
are you there? Are you there, Shill man?
Yeah,
Matt.
Yeah, sorry.
What did you say? You went a bit wobbly then. I think your connection went a bit. Just say that bit again.
Oh wait, what was I saying?
I think I don't know. Anyway, we were talking about Tommy's award.
I think I started to talk while I was just dancing, and I heard Jason say something at the same time, so I stopped. I think that's all it was.
Right, okay. Yeah, no, that video you've done a link to. So right. Okay. Oh, I see. So I'm with you now. So Tommy Robinson couldn't find anything of you, so he used the bit where you were on our show. Got you. I'm with you
now. No, the Tommy Robinson fan.
Yeah,
the Tommy Robinson. But believe me, we've had Tommy Robinson fans on here, and there's a lot of people that are Tommy Robinson supporters. We had a guy on called Dave Sumner, who's I don't know if you've remember him, but he was stood on top of a London bus with a Trump mask on. We've had him on, and to be fair, there's a lot of stuff that we agree on. It's just a small percentage that we disagree on, and that's just the method of how things should be done.
Yeah, it's true that. Very, 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 very true. There's only ever a thin line, isn't there? Only ever a thin line.
Yeah, there's a thin line, but it's. I think we all agree that paedophilia is a thing that's bloody taken the whole world.
That's a line too far.
They're hidden in.
It's a line too far. What I'm going to say. I was just talking about in general the right people who support the right. I mean, general people like the guy that we had on. I don't suspect he's a paedophile at all. So all I was saying about the views, the people that support, but yeah, when you get into it, but a lot of people that support will look past that and even make excuses for it.
Yeah. The point is, it's clear as day. You got the Jews, apparently Jews in Hollywood, but Zion's obviously. I don't like to call them Jews because I don't believe they are Jewish in any frame whatsoever.
They're not.
So you got them. You got the Catholic Church priests, the Christian Church priests. You got the care system, the child care system in Great Britain. You got the royals. You got the Muslim grooming gangs. The list goes on, right? But now we're just going to pick the Muslim grooming gangs, and that's because the MSM, mainstream media, which apparently they all say is fake, is highlighting it, right? And everything that mainstream media writes is definitely true when it comes down to a Muslim, but it writes. That's the idea I get from Tommy Robinson fans is exactly what they believe, right? And I just think, wow, you're just going around. Whilst we need people, getting together under one banner. I mean, whether it's we need to get rid of government, let's just all get on that, forget about every fucking thing else. Stop the disagreements. What do we agree on, right? Government is the biggest problem, The government. If there ain't government, there ain't bankers, there ain't all these people. The media will soon break down because there won't be government infiltrating them and telling them you got to write this, that, and the other. The whole system will break down, won't it? Once we get rid of government. So people who keep saying they're patriots whilst they're voting for government, funding the government, it's not. I mean, it's clear as day the amount of wars we go to, and they're not even wars; they're just attacks, aren't they? We just attack all these countries.
If you stood out on the street and said to people, right, you still got to pay all your money for tax, but we've got 15 different buckets, so you can put some in all of it, or you can put it all in one, or it's up to you so there's like one for emptying your bins, there's a bucket that's going to pay for the NHS, another bucket that's going to pay for schools, one that's going to pay for all the bombs to shoot all the little brown kids and kill them, one's going to pay for the do you know what I mean? If you had all the hardly anybody had put the money in the fucking bomb bucket. Nearly everybody had put the money in fixing the roads, NHS, paying for more nurses, looking after the kit. Nobody had put the money in that bucket. Yet they all pay the tax, grumble about it, but pay the tax. And then they'll stand up for a national anthem. Your kids have got all to eat. There's people on the streets who haven't got a home. And you stand up for a national anthem from a family who are at least connected to, historically, more than 3 convicted paedophiles.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you say to people who say, "Oh, I'm proud to be British," right? And you say, "Right, what is it you're proud of exactly? Lay it down. What you're proud about being British?" And they'll go, "The NHS." The NHS. That's the best I've ever heard, James. The NHS. And of course, that's just a name. We don't. It might be a limited company that's probably worth nothing because the obviously the corporation, the pharmaceutical corporation, completely runs that. It might own a building still. Who knows? It's probably leasing them all now.
Yeah, and you're right. It is. It's just a public limited company now. But I don't know. It's just that if you keep it dead simple and think about, what is that I heard? Oh, a guy said that was it. Why do the government think I've got to pay for this? Why can't they just pay for it? Oh, sorry, why do we have to pay for that? Why can't the government pay for it? And I'm thinking, this guy's clearly intelligent. Why don't he realise that the government's money is his money? Yeah. So what he's saying is, instead of me paying you with my left hand, can't you take it out my right instead?
Yeah,
I mean, they get all complicated about politics, left, right, fucking colour of your tie that you're wearing this week, and don't realise that, the people that did all this shit and all the lies and everything, it doesn't matter whether you're looking at the British government, the American government, whatever, they're all the bloody same. They're not the people who do things. The people who are supposed to be voting for, they don't do it. It's the people above them that nobody sees. And if people just knew those two little bits, but when you get people that indoctrinated, you know, honestly, they've walked past homeless people, walked into a sports stadium, and stood up for a national anthem. What the fuck?
No, well, listen, it's it's a disease. It's something we've been indoctrinated to. Excuse me. Give us a away, everybody. If you're in there, or a thumbs down, it's up to you. But I remember the Silver Jubilee, 1977. Back when I was a kid, I remember we had a street party.
Yeah.
And there was all sorts of stuff going on. Everyone on the street had the
25p coin.
Yeah, one of them coins. Yeah, all kids got one. All kids got one, and that's the way that they used to be able to appease people and make people think that they were worth it. And they come, we've got a day off fucking school. You know, we've got to run races and have prizes and go and do a massive picnic, you know, that everybody had. And so people don't do that now. People don't know the neighbours like they used to don't know the neighbours. So what happens is the royal family has to then try to use other methods to keep control, if you like, and that includes social media and the crap at it. To be honest, so far we've had Andrew and his little girls or boys or whatever he likes, and you've got Harry jumping ship, saying, you know, essentially saying, I don't want you to do what you did to my mother.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they're really fucking up. And I know we had all this flag waving in 2012, but that's 8 years ago. A lot's happened since then. This flag waving went fucking, you know, RAF went over, red arrows go over, and everyone's waving flags. But, you know, there's less and less and less of that. And I think they're losing the grip. And I think they're losing the grip because they don't know how to deal with social media. The best thing they could have done, and he would have fitted in from what I understand, spot on. They should have got Max Clifford, you know, when first this digital age started. He'd have been, you know, he'd have been able to do it, and it would have fit in with him because he had similar sort of interests.
Yeah. So that's, hang on a minute, that's Mountbatten, which was really Battenberg, pedo. Maxwell, pedo. Savile, pedo. Prince Andrew's mate, Epstein, pedo. Who else?
Stuart Hall,
Ted Heath. I'm thinking of people who kind of know the royals and have probably got.
Yeah, Ted Stuart Hall. Fucking hell, he used to do fucking Royal It's a Knockout. Remember?
Oh, that's right. He did. Yeah.
So he knew him a lot better than most people, and he got a knighthood. Yeah. So, you know, when you think about Stuart Hall and you think, oh, it's an oop and under, or ha ha ha, because we're doing, you know, on fucking It's a Knockout, and yet you don't realise just how close he were.
It's and I, you know, when you look at the royals and come on, Mark, what do you think? I mean,
What do you mean? What do I think about the whole system being full of pedos?
I mean, you're an awful lot like me, because my exact thing is just get rid of the fucking government and we'll sort it out from there. But what we don't need is all these fucking leeches. Just fucking get rid of them. Then let's us sort it out. Let's us decide then what we're going to do. Because so you and I, you know, almost on the same page, I reckon. But, you know, when it comes to the royals and that, it's different to politics, or is it?
It's not, no, because it's all really and truly, if you look at it, it's all under a corporation, isn't it? The royals, the politicians, the country, the law, everything's all wrapped into a corporation.
Yeah.
So it's you remove that corporation, you remove it all, didn't you?
Yeah.
and it all comes toppling down, and obviously it's you feel like it's close to toppling, and then it doesn't seem to be, does it? Then all of a sudden there's an outbreak of a virus, and there's a world war on the table, and obviously the banks will crash soon, and all shit will be, and it'll be too late. I think once the banks crash, that'll be the day when everyone will go, fuck, we missed our chance here, because all hell will break loose on that day, I'm sure. But it's you can only do this for so long, I think. I think after even a year or two, people start to feel the pressure of outing what's going on in the world. But once you've done it for so long, it's like, if I've done this for this long and they still haven't got it, there's still people out there who haven't got it. Even like these gammons, they're saying to me, oh, you can't call me a gammon, it's racist. It's like, how can a gammon be racist? Yeah, and how can I be racist if you're white and I'm white? Doesn't make sense. But they're actually saying that I'm calling a gammon is someone who voted Brexit.
Right, okay.
Stuff like that. And you just get these daft comments. And one says to me, and I'm explaining to him, and he goes, oh, well, so you don't believe, you believe in anarchy and don't believe we should have government. And I just thought, oh, right, that's it. Delete this guy. Because there is never, ever you're going to get through to that type of brain, that IQ level. Never.
I think I've worked out what a big part of it is. When you you're at that point of kind of realizing what all three of us know and what most of the people listening know. And you're just on that kind of lip. And I think the part of your brain that says, are you sure you want to do this? Is also the part of your brain that decides whether or not you're going to take responsibility for yourself or always need a leader and a policeman to look after you, and a courier on a bus. Or are you the sort of bloke who'd just get on a plane and fuck off and sort himself out when he gets there?
A courier on a bus? Who's ever had a courier on a bus?
Where do you go on holiday?
Oh, right. Okay. Fucking hell, you go on too many holidays, you.
No, the bit where you're going from the airport to your hotel or whatever, if you've been daft enough to buy a package holiday. And I think when there's people like us saying to them, look, money's not real or whatever we're telling them or trying to. I think even the people that get it, it's just that, and part of it is, are they willing to just be responsible completely for themselves? Because until you are, I don't think you can think like we do. I think almost everybody who's listening to this is the sort of person who go, well, if the money thing crashed tomorrow, there'll be another way of doing it. And if no governments were there tomorrow, there'll be another way of doing it. Pick as a winner, Jace.
I just got an itch, man.
Do you know what I mean? But I think anybody who don't think like we do are the sort of people that, well, there's got to be a bus driver, a courier on this bus to make sure that I get to my hotel all right, and I've got to have somebody to hold me, and I need them to be a policeman just in case somebody gets me. Somebody who's not going to take responsibility for themselves, and I think that's the difference.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's part of the abnormal becomes normal.
Yeah.
And we see that time and time again, like just constantly, like this whole people now, men getting boobs, right? Getting like, I was saying that all our doctors, good doctors now, become plastic surgeons rather than life savers, right? Because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
And they're doing it, and it's really sick when you think about the vaccines that go in people. Then all of a sudden we got all these men growing up to want to be women, and it's like highly inflated, and people say, oh no, before they just didn't want to come out. And in the 80s you've got all these pop stars and that all dressing as women and coming out and saying I'm gay, and then all of a sudden we've just got this barrage of gay men and men wanting to turn into women. Do you think the vaccines or the medication they're on or anything like that? And I'm like, well, surely you people would sort of work out, well, people started getting highly vaccinated around this time, and now we got, and we know that they've got female genes in it and all of that type of stuff and fetuses and God knows what. It just kind of like put 2 and 2 together, didn't you? And you go, fucking hell.
Yeah. The other thing, don't forget, though, like 40, 50 years ago is when, well, probably 40 odd years ago, is when the pill, that women take. Well, I believe, I'm not a pharmacist or a doctor, thank God, that's female hormone in that thing. And that apparently is what does, I don't know. I'm told that's what was in it. And if we're to believe that, then, what goes in must come out. And when it comes out, it goes down a toilet. And then it goes through the cleaning system and comes out as tap water a few days later. Now, there's no way they can filter out all that estrogen or whatever. So, who knows? Over the years, more and more women use the pill, still piss down the same toilet. So effectively, I've just had a drink of squash. It's probably got a load of estrogen in it. And is that why all these people have suddenly decided, actually, I don't want to be a bloke. I want to be a woman.
Yeah, absolutely. And you kind of think to yourself, don't you? Is it the people that they vote in, like this system? Because that's all they're voting for, isn't it? They're just consenting to the system.
Yeah, they're just consenting to the system to carry on for the next few years.
And really, they're consenting really to the devil, aren't they? It's like inviting the devil into your house and saying, "Please take care of me. I'm just going to bed."
Yep. Yep. But I think what people need to know is that, well, now we don't speak to our neighbours anymore. I ain't got any real friends. They're only virtual friends on face shit or some other bollocks. So there is no sort of security in, like, numbers of people who can call on each other anymore. So they're kind of in this position where, we definitely need the government. And it's almost like we'll take everything away apart from the official line of everything and the official places for everything, so that people have got to come to us. And that's what it is now, because women don't have coffee mornings anymore. Do you know what I mean? They're too busy dropping the kid off at some nursery and then shooting off to do a 12-hour day and then come back and... Do you know what I mean? There's none of that anymore. So it's not the government providing anything. It's the government taking away, by keeping everybody busy, all the natural ways that we've got as a community are watching out for each other. But we ain't got time for that anymore because we're too busy doing what the government wants us to do. So the only place anybody ever goes looking for anything, whether it's help, friends, whatever, is something that the government or the establishment put in place.
Yeah, of course. And it's funny, I was having a conversation with a guy today regards that. I was saying, look, obviously, if you look at how unnatural everything is about a world, like mothers going to work, yeah, and we're not saying, the sexist women shouldn't work, but we're saying mothers going to work and giving their kids over to the indoctrination camps now at 2 years old, and that baby should be
12-foot high fences and barbed wire on the inside, if you notice now.
Yeah. They're like bloody prisons, isn't they?
Which to keep their whole family out. That's what it is.
Yeah. But you look at it, and these and because we tell them, oh, it's all right, they don't need your breast milk anymore. They're okay on this powdered stuff. Yeah. Is it really, the baby, isn't it supposed to have its proper nutrients from its mother till a certain age? The father can't do that, right? So of course the mother, and then of course you see the man's now losing his place in the home. He's not the breadwinner anymore. He's not. He feels like he's got no role. So you got the breakdown of the families, the arguments, all of that. You got 2 at work. It's just nuts. I was talking about, like, when you look at, oh yeah, we're so great because look at all this technology, and how's technology helped us? Yeah, 100 years ago, one of us went to work and we probably left the house at 9 a.m, walked 5 minutes down the road, done our work, back by 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Now it's get up at 6, both of you, quick, get the kid ready, drop it at wherever with strangers that we don't know, but they've got a certificate, and then rush off, try and hopefully get our train, spend an hour, 2 hours in the rush hour getting to work, finally get there knackered, feel like we've done a day's work, and now we got to do a day's work. Then reverse role and pick our kids up at 7 o'clock, get them in, give them a quick bottle, chuck them in bed, and we can relax and watch the bloody news for 2 hours. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
And get programmed by the news and lied to.
I'd like to just say, like what you mentioned 100 years ago. I mean, you're probably giving a 1950s look at life there, because 100 years ago, Dad would get up at 6 in the morning, and he'd go down a pit, and he wouldn't see daylight, and he'd come out at 6 at night, and he then covered in crap, and it's still. But I get the point you were making about the family setup was the same. The mother stayed at home with the kids, and the dad went out to work. So I just think that what you were saying were more of a 1950s American dream sort of scenario that you were bringing up.
Yeah. I would imagine that probably before the 1666 Sesquive Act, that once upon a time we'd have probably all had a bit of land, and we would have probably, most of us would have been working and doing something on that land and bringing our families up to learn it, maybe sending the kids to, someone who's really good at teaching maths or English down the road, where I had a class of 5 and taught 5 kids for 2 hours a day or something, yeah? And the rest of the time they'd be with their parents learning. Maybe they'd be in the kitchen learning how to cook, or they'd be out, learning how to farm the land they're on, or, building chairs, making tables, whatever, but not sitting in bloody 4 walls all day and then being led out at 17. There you go, off you go, or you can go, or actually you can come and sit in 4 walls again and pay us, and we'll give you some more indoctrination if you really want it.
And if you don't fit into that system and you end up kicking off, we'll put you in isolation.
Yeah, we'll ostracize you. If you're a little kid and don't fit, or your brain's a bit too smart for the school that you're at, what we'll do is we'll tell you you've got ADHD and medicate you to fit.
Yeah.
I'd like to just say, anyway, to everybody, you're listening to Raconteurs News. Good evening to everybody who's listening in the chat room. Super Leeds, Keith M. Keith M said he used to travel up from Bournemouth every weekend to watch Manchester United, and he said his last match he went to live was the European Cup Winners' Cup 1991 in Rotterdam versus Barcelona, 2-1 Man United. Now, I remember that because the game before was when Sheffield Wednesday beat Manchester United in the League Cup final, and I was there at that game. So I think the beating Barcelona sort of did. But anyway, what I was going to say is, when you were talking earlier on, and I think it was something that you didn't really go into in enough detail, but while you were talking about it, I'm talking about the normalization of stuff that's fucking ridiculous. And I just thought to myself, I've got a good idea for a T-shirt to wear at Gay Pride next year. So it's just a normal T-shirt, but written on the front it says, "I like to put my cock in a vagina. Is that enough, or do I need to be nude?"
I get that. Yeah, you basically, straight men can't go down the road all running around with nudes and acting like
with the big knobs out, going round like that. Yeah.
But as soon as you're gay, well, I'm pretty sure most gays don't. Again, I think it's another side.
No.
And then you get a lot of people who just join it because they go, "Oh, I'm gay," and it becomes kind of a party thing, and everyone feels like they've got to carry on like everybody else. But yeah, it's there to be highlighted in the press as this is what gays look like, isn't it? And it's like, well, most gays, quite often you'll meet a gay man, you'll never know because he'll be like, "Hello, mate," you know what I mean? Yeah, he'll be a big ruffy and he'll be going,
exactly. Was it the Blue Oyster Bar in the what was the films?
Oh yeah, the Police Academy.
Yeah, it's not like that. No, it's definitely not like that. Jason's got his floating suites.
The floating suites, I've just noticed them. We've lasted all this time without my internet going off. That's incredible. But
don't say that, and don't go in the kitchen.
Well, I'm just thinking to myself that my drink's a bit low, so I'm going to be getting myself a drink in a minute. So if I do disappear, I will be back.
Oh no! Right.
I will be back. I've got an engineer coming tomorrow. It's just been so crap. I've got an engineer coming tomorrow Now, the problem is the engineer's coming from Sky, or he's on behalf of Sky, whereas I've told Sky you can fuck off and booked another broadband that's going to be coming on, I think, on 7th of February. So that hopefully will solve the problem if the guy tomorrow doesn't solve the problem. But either way, Sky can fuck off. I've had enough for him. I've even cancelled the subscription on TV, so the whole lot's gone.
What were I going to tell you then? Something you've just said, it sparked me, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, my internet. I had, no internet available, and what I mean by that is where I live. I think the nearest box connection, the actual exchange, not the green box that's on your street corner, is as the crow flies, well over 1.5 miles. It's actually in a different county that way. And because of that, normal internet is pointless. You just, I mean, you couldn't even listen to not let alone look at YouTube. You couldn't listen to an MP3. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's just that slow. So you've got to go for fibre. But fibre is only the bit between your nearest exchange and wherever the big central bit is. The bit between you and the exchange is still the same bit of copper wire. So anyway, I'm saying to this woman, what do you mean you can't connect me? Why not? I've been waiting for like weeks. And she said, the only reason I can tell you this is because I start my maternity leave tomorrow. And she said, we haven't got a piece of cable to connect you to.
No cable.
No cable to connect you to. So I said, but you've been trying to charge me for the past 3 months. And then I found out what they actually do. The engineers, if you ring up and complain because your internet's not on, and they haven't got any spare cables, and they've like, say they've got, I don't know, 5,000, but there's 5,001, and that's you and you're complaining, they'll unplug number 3,277, plug you in, you're a happy chap, and then when this one gets home later in the day, they might ring up and complain. Or they might not. And that's what they bloody do. They're charging people for the internet when they ain't got enough things to connect them to.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's mad. Mad.
Anyway, Mark.
Yeah, go on.
No, listen, people can listen to me and Jason whenever they fucking want. I want to hear what you want to talk about.
What do I want to talk about? I don't know. I just, you know me, I've got so much like going on in my head, and it's you know, it's hard to talk about one thing, isn't it, when there's so many?
Well, yeah, because I think once you realise that there's not loads and loads and loads of conspiracy theories, there's only one, and that's that there's a level above every government, and that money's not what you think it is.
Yeah. You've only got to look into one thing, and I think that's the thing. If people look into one part, and you ask anyone a question, name me in one paragraph, tell me how one part of your system works, whether it's the currency, the law, you know, any part of it. Tell me how it works in one paragraph. And 99.9% of people who are voting and going along with this and telling me I'm crazy can never do it.
That's right.
Can never do it. They haven't got a clue about any part of the system or how it works. Or
even how it's supposed to look like it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people still think that, you know, money adds value, don't they? They would say, oh, well, the money, you know, that's owned by the bank, and then the bank lends it to us, and, you know, they've got loads of gold bullion in their bank, and that's where it's, you know, it's like, what?
if you stood inside a branch of any bank, just like the ones that I used to work in, and somebody came in and with a card, they go, can you tell me how much I've got in my account, please? And you said to them, well, actually, you've not got anything in the account. All you've done is lent your money to the bank. Not that it really exists, but that's what you've done. And if we're still in business when you want it back, you can ask for it. They'd say, what? Because the real answer is you've actually got nothing in your account. You've got the promise that they might give you back what you think you put in at some point in the future. That's all you've got.
Yeah, promise. Yeah, exactly. A promise to pay. A promise to pay what? £10 of what? £10 of nothing. Yeah,
and that's if it's, the ones that are actually printed. Oh, these are going soon, by the way. Which is like, what is it? Not I know it's something stupid like just above or just below 2% of so-called currency has ever been printed.
Yeah.
All the rest is fiction. And even the stuff they actually print is bollocks. But anyway. You could stand in any bank and people would not believe you if you tried to explain fractional reserve lending. You try ask a member of staff about fractional reserve lending, and they won't know either, because I didn't.
No, it's the same with vaccines. Yeah, I see people on a chat yesterday in one of these, the same sort of group as this, but it was American auditors. And these American auditors, the ones in there saying, "Oh yeah, vaccines, you got to look at them. They work because they've cured this or that." And I'm like, "What?" So even if they give you 1 or 2 vaccines to cure stuff, then it would be an indication that they're giving to them. So you go, "Yay, I'll take any vaccine now," right? But then you got nurses sitting in there. I'm a nurse, so I know they're good. It's like, come on in. How do you know they're good then? Because you're just trained by the corporation to believe and to administer them. You're not trained anything more than that. What's the ingredients, nurse? Could she answer? Of course she couldn't.
I actually said that, when they're I had my doctor on the phone. Well, his woman. Hello, we just want to book you in for your flu jab. And I went, good luck. She said, what do you mean? She said, when do you want to come in? I said, what's in it? She went, what? I said, what's in it? What do you mean? What's in the thing you want to stick in my arm? Oh, it's a flu jab. Okay. So what's it made of? Well, I don't know. But I buy a bag of peanuts and it says on the outside, may contain nuts. And yet you've got these so-called health professionals that are just chucking this shit into anybody that will take it. I don't know what's in it. Tell me what's in it and I'll consider it. But if you're going to have the discussion about it, then fuck your vaccine.
Yeah, fucking right too. That's the thing, isn't it? If people aren't questioning what they're putting in their children,
I mean,
you want to know. Actually, yeah, it's a vaccine. That's great, and it's for polio or whatever. But what I need to know is what exactly you are injecting. What's the ingredients, please? I want a breakdown for everyone, and how exactly that helps what you're saying is going to stop my child from getting in the future. Because they're even giving babies at birth, like the STD fucking vaccines. Babies at birth.
Oh, they wanted to give it to boys, even though it's a vaccine against a disease supposedly that can't be caught by a man because it only attaches onto a female part of a gene. But they want to give it to fucking teenage boys.
Exactly, yeah. And
sell more. Oh man, it's because they could sell more. But you see people and they actually are taking a notice of what you're saying. The one question is this: that but it costs so much money. It's cost them so much money, and I say they're making that money.
Yeah,
from the NHS, from your donations, from your tax donations. That's what I call them because that's what they are—the donations.
Yeah.
And your national insurance. I mean, fucking hell. What happened with that? That was specifically designed for the NHS. It don't go fucking anywhere near NHS.
Yeah. But I think if you went to what would you call it, an old-fashioned mothers group of women that used to rent the old church hall out and sit and have a cup of tea and moan about there's still got leaky boobies, even though little one's not, and all the rest of it. And so they all got, up to a year old or a little toddler. And if you said to them, would you put anything on your baby's skin that you couldn't eat? They'd say, well, of course not. No, it must be baby friendly and, da 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 da. Yet them same women will hold the baby while it's screaming so that the nurse can inject it with, well, I'm really not sure because I couldn't be fucking bothered to ask. And because these people are just indoctrinated into they need somebody to tell them what they've got to do. You've got to bring your baby in for this. You've got to register your child.
Yeah.
You've got to bring it to school.
But these are all got tos that haven't got to. I mean, people used to say, well, you've got to do that. And I go, well, even before I knew anything, I go, well, why? Well, why? What if I don't? What's going to happen if I don't? And if I didn't, then usually no happened.
Yeah. Mine was, come on, Adrian, your brother, he got all his A-levels and your sister, she got hers. And we all know that you're better than them. And I just go, yeah, but why? And that literally was me. Once I'd got enough, that was like, fuck that, I can't be arsed with that anymore. I don't need to know any of that shit. But then, of course, when I got into finance, you end up constantly being educated. And, if the actual things in the industry were real, I would agree with it, but it's not. But
I've got a question. I've got a question, Shil, that's just popped into my head and I haven't written it down, so I'm going to ask it you. What do you think the influence of what we call the truth or industrial complex, the David Icke's, the Alex Jones, what sort of influence do you think they have over people now? Do you think it's gone down or do you think it's gone up?
I think the influence that some of them, like some of the big guys, obviously they keep a crowd and whatever they spat out, like David Icke, for example, it's very much about making us all sound stupid because people go around shouting, "Oh, they're lizards. They shapeshift," shit like that, right? And that's the point in David Icke is to sell us a kind of truth, which and mainly he got from another person's book anyway. But then to add to it his own little bit to make us all look crazy and of course lead and keep everybody sticking to the topics he wants to stick to. But now they're flooding the internet with their gutter rats. They're coming out from and flooding it to push whatever agendas they want, whether it's transsexual, whether it's feminism, whether it's the far right, whether it's it's being absolutely flooded now. And being this like a shield destroyer is part and parcel. I could see that before we're going to get anywhere, we've got to take a lot of these people down. Make it clear this is how they work. Tommy Robinson should be exposing now, not obviously on his own back, but to everybody out there. He's exposed the government. He's exposed the politicians, obviously trying to get him into UKIP. He's exposed the court system because obviously his bloody prison thing was all a lie. He didn't bloody go to prison. He's exposed the BBC, Ross Kemp. He's exposed them all because it's all a big theatre show. And until if everybody saw it as the theatre show it is, they would all go, yeah. If they're doing all this for him, what have they been doing for others, right? What did they do for Hitler? What did they do for, what's his name, Blair? What did they do? And look at it. This what's his name in Obama? He's just bought a $15 million, house on the beach in Malibu or something, right? But he was on what 100 and however much they get paid per year. They're supposed to get their salary, but somehow he's walked away and now he's got a $15 million summer house. That's just his summer home, right? Just I go there for a month every now and then.
Yeah, John.
And look at Blair. But yeah, I think they're, it's great trying to bring them down now because there's just too many. So and I'm kind of thinking about stopping doing what I'm doing now, because it's like, if I carry on, sooner or later my YouTube's going to get shut down, right? So all the information I've put out there is going to disappear, just like it did on Facebook. So I've kind of used it in the last 2 months just to try and get as much out there as I possibly can before I get destroyed. and then maybe I'll change, to something else. I'm bored of doing it now, and the stress you get with it, all these arseholes you have to answer every day that have got no clue about anything but just believe they're intelligent. It just becomes boring eventually, and you just get wound up and you're like, what am I doing sitting here it's not working clearly, because I walk down the town, everything's the same, right? So I'm thinking about sort of changing my ways now, maybe going to do auditing. I kind of want to get a van. I'm sick of living where I am. I kind of want to get a van, turn it into a camper van, just go around the country, and then maybe even around the Europe, and do auditing, and do something like that, because I'm just, I can't go, there's no one's going to give me a job out there. Not that I really want a job. I'm self-employed. I've been for 12, 13 years selling cars. The cars are obviously a pain in the arse nowadays, because you don't know, it's not like the old days. You could do a few checks and know that a car's probably good. Nowadays, you could drive it away 5 minutes down the road, all of a sudden all the shit will show up that's wrong with it. And then trying to sell them's a pain in the arse. It's just, and trying, if there's any problem with a car now, it costs an absolute fortune to get them repaired, because you've got to have all the right equipment. So I'm kind of trying to get out of that at the same time. So I'm just looking at what I'm going to do now, and I'm thinking, well, auditing, I figured probably auditing safer than shield destroying, you know what I mean? Because you're not get the gangs after you when you're shield destroying, as you'll see all the comments on all my videos, right? They all come out, these scumbags, they get their latest pin up, and they'll defend them to the earth, wouldn't they?
Well, there's been a couple of comments in chat room, Mark, and one says, "Who is Shield Destroyer anyway?" So you need to tell us that and where they can find you. And the comment underneath it from the same person is, "Get him onto Stone and Steel." I'm guessing that means Mark Steel.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I'm just Mark. I'll just go out. I've just done a lot of research over 10 years. When my garage, I had a garage, and when that kind of fell apart because I had this dodgy partner stealing from it and doing all sorts of crazy shit, I got a recovery truck. So I was at home more, and I was doing more research, and I was doing recoveries for myself, buying and selling car steel. And then that broke down, I blew it up because I was just pushing it too hard. And I gave it to a garage of people I kind of knew who were supposed to be good guys, and they fucked it up. Cost me $5,000 a year, put me out of work. So I was on the computer 24/7, apart from when I was selling a car. So I'd done a load more research for all that time. And then I got a bad truck back that I had to sell for like $1,000 because it was shit. So I couldn't do my job anymore. So I was just selling a couple of cars, and I've just been researching and selling a couple of cars and surviving. And obviously out in the shills, I started really out in, I guess I started to learn at 2007. That's when I started to come a bit more clear to what was going on. About 2010, probably just as Tommy Robinson come up with EDL, I knew all about Tommy being from his hometown. So I figured, well, someone's got to stop him. It's got to be someone from Luton. Expected all of your friends on your Facebook to go, oh yeah, but none of them really did. People just be quiet, didn't they? Don't really know what's going on, don't care. So I ended up just doubting in myself all the time. And then I met with some more people on Facebook and groups and stuff that were doing it. And then I got banned from Facebook eventually. So I come to YouTube and was just a watcher. And then I got bored of not being able to have a voice. So I decided to do some YouTube videos. And here we are today.
You're welcome here anytime, mate.
Cheers.
Yeah, no, he's not anonymous. His name's Mark. I'm just trying to answer some questions and No, so it's definitely not anonymous. So other than your what you say, if they just put search in YouTube Shield Destroyer, they'll find all your stuff anyway, won't they now, Mark?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, cool. And the good thing about your stuff, Mark, as well, unlike mine, which is just mindless rambling, you're quite good at going, hello, look, I found this, play this. This is the important bit. And I'll put a link into the 25-minute version that's on the internet. And sometimes it's quite good because with a lot of people's videos, they do a 50-second intro of some bollocks music they've fucking stolen off the internet with all these stock pictures. Then 10 minutes of shit. Then the minute of what they actually want to tell you. And then another 10 minutes of shit. So you can't actually find what they're talking about. But yours, it's, right, this is what I want to show you. I'm just going to show you the important bit, but here's the big link to the big thing. So, unlike a lot of other people's YouTubes, you can actually pick and choose how much of your stuff that you actually want to go through, Mark. That's what I like about yours.
And what I done was, people told me at the beginning, you know, you got to go on cam to, you know, to attract people. People won't watch you if you don't go on cam. So, and I didn't want to go on cam, to be fair. You know, I'm not. Fame's a very dangerous thing, I think. I don't think fame's a very good thing at all. I don't think you want to, especially in the truther movement, you know.
Yep.
You're going to get, you don't know who's coming up to you, right? You don't know who's coming up to you, and they might sound like they're on your side and say, oh, I really like you, but they might be, you know what it's like out there. But it's not, I've never been one of these people who watch people on the TV and gone, oh, I wish I was them, you know, never. But so I started to do the cam just to get, you know, and try and figure, okay, I can do this. I'll man up to it, you know. And you could see at the beginning of my videos, I'm camera shy. I was always camera shy anyway. I hate cameras. But then I started to just hit, like, because I watch so much and I'm looking at so much, I figured, well, I can just put a video out here and explain my thoughts on it. And that way you can just put out videos as you see them, right? Sometimes I won't even watch the video and I'll watch it with the people, like as I'm recording it, rather than have to sit and watch it, then have to sit and watch it again. And then you know, if I hear something, I'll break it and go, right, bang, 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 bang. And it means you can just do videos and you don't have to do all this editing. You don't have to, you know, be in a certain, get yourself all dressed up with all your makeup on and all of that type of stuff, right? You can just do it as you feel like it, straight there and then, pop it out. The information's out there. Someone will watch it and they might go, oh, yeah, right. Yeah, that guy's saying, like I done one the other day on the police, for example. There's a policeman saying the rights of photography.
Oh, that's right. I watched that one. Yeah.
And I was pointing out to him, look, he's saying, well, under Act, you're not allowed to actually film the MOD from a public place. And it's like, no, actually, law always will trump legalese.
And common law always wins, period.
Yeah, law of the land, right? Acts come under off the law and are for commerce. So yes, Mr. Policeman, you are not allowed to film the MOD if that's what the Act says whilst you're in that uniform. But me, free man, sorry, Acts don't bother me. I'm nothing to do with Acts. I'm not in commerce.
Yeah.
So you can just get little things out like that just by watching a simple video and just adding a little bit to it. And I think it helps a lot of people. I got someone who emailed me who said to me, you really sort of made the law simple by just watching a few of your videos, and you've kind of broken it down when like nobody else has, where you've just, rather than sitting there talking about it and showing them bits that confuse, just simplifying it. Look, fuck all that legalese bullshit. Get rid of it. Yeah, don't accept it. Don't fall into the words. Don't call yourself a person. Don't say, yes, I understand. You know, all that sort of, and language is so important. Language is the biggest place they've got us at, because they fucked with our language. And if you watch this, what's it called? I did put a video out with a bit of it, and then I linked it.
David Wynn-Miller.
Is that his name? Deceptive bite? No.
Oh no, it's not. Sorry, I'm reading a thing in the.
I know you were going to say that. What? Right, you were talking about something else, weren't you, Chill? I knew you were going to say that when I saw the the comment in the.
No, I thought that's who Matt was on about.
No, he's not. No, go on.
No, I put a video out about it's been the snakes language, where basically they're putting together American sign language with English legalese, I guess, and making a whole new language. And language is so important, because that's where you don't, and the whole point is so we don't understand what they're saying. If we can't speak their language, how can we? And so many people are going to prison, getting fined. Because they think they're understanding the language, but of course they're completely not, and it's made like that on purpose, so they can just go cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
Well, I always say to people, it's dead easy. A 2-year-old knows the law.
Yeah.
And it's easy to remember DHL. Death, harm, loss.
Yeah.
Oh, and breach of the peace. Shut the fuck up after dark. That's it. That's the law. Anything else, they'll always say, what's your name? Or they'll say, do you understand? No. Then Jason found that one out. They threw him in a cell. Do you understand? No. Right, chuck him in a cell, get him out again. Now do you understand? No. Why don't you understand? Because I didn't do it. Chuck him back in a cell.
Yeah.
2 days later, they let him go.
Yeah. Same in court. If they'll ask you 3 times, once they've asked you 3 times and that's it, they can't do it again.
Yeah.
They'll try and get you to put yourself under their authority, under their what's the word I'm looking for?
Jurisdiction.
That's right.
Yeah, under their jurisdiction. And as soon as you fall into that trap, that's it. There's no way of getting you out. But if you just shut the fuck up, if you don't know the words you're using, just shut the fuck up. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. But I always say to people when I'm doing this stuff, I just say, if it was really for our benefit, why do they have to trick us into being part of their law? What do you mean? Well, a cop has seen to you, do you stand under? Have I got your permission to fuck you? And you go, yeah. Well, they're even tricking you because they're using understanding its correct way. But we're taught understand means, do you know what's going on?
Yeah.
That's what we're taught in the bloody prisons, the schools.
I don't know what's happened there with my green screen. It's gone all fucking funny.
Fade button.
I don't know where fade button is. It don't just sort it sent out, does it?
That's why Mark don't bother with cameras.
Yeah, I mean, my cameras, they're not the best anyway.
Yeah. But honestly, oof. Oh, you've let your secret out now.
There we go. That'll do. Fucking hell. Jesus.
I mean, you're not really in a studio.
Not. I am in a studio, but it's not this studio that's behind me.
Because actually, that studio is above you, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got to say, Shill, Mark, when you were talking about how you were thinking about getting it up, you sort of depressed me, and I thought to myself, well, we've just got a year's worth of this StreamYard where we can do this stuff, and now I'm thinking, I might pack in then. I'm sure
I think there comes to a point where you got to say, I've done my part, right? I've done my bit, and if people didn't listen, and hopefully enough listened who are now doing it and spreading the same messages, and if you can influence 10 people, and then they can influence 10 people, and it comes to a point where you've got to start saying, do you know what? I've got a life, right? I'm spending my whole life trying to warn people about what's coming and how to stop it, but is it really working? I don't think it is really. I think it's the same old until they get personally hit by it, where they feel like, even though everybody is already massively personally hit by it, it's just a norm to them. Until something becomes abnormal, where the police are knocking on their door, taking advantage of them, or stealing their house, or and that's when they will jump in and go, right, what's going on in this world? Yeah, until that happens. Whereas for me, that didn't happen. And I'm sure for some of plenty of guys out there, they just went, fuck, I don't want to get fucked over. I'm looking at my society, seeing the disgrace and how poor people are, every time I walk down any town now in England, I'm walking past a shitload of constantly, have you got some change, mate? Yeah, because there's homeless. And I love to give to the homeless, but I can't even give to all of the ones that, you feel bad. Sorry, mate, I'll just give me last £3 to that one down the road there. And you're just like, wow. And people are just accepting this. Then you got old people being killed off in hospitals, right? And that story run in the middle of a news story, 80 people, they blamed it on one nurse, yeah, and just quick 30 seconds, and then they put about 5 minutes about a guy with a dog. I remember that news story, and I'm going, what the hell? We've been telling people about them killing off the elderly. They called lazy eaters, they call them, right?
I've got experience of that, Mark. When I was in hospital last time having this last operation, one night I was laid awake because you couldn't get a fucking sleep in that fucking dump hole. It stunk of shit and fucking every cunt were moaning. But I heard there were a nurse who was on the phone at the end of the bay, and she was really telling somebody to really push the family for a DNR. Right, and you could tell. I was only hearing one side, but you could tell that the woman was saying, the other nurse was saying, well, obviously they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that, and she's saying, no, you've got to push for a DNR, and that stuck in me inside my brain, my pea-sized brain. But yeah, it makes sense with what you're saying.
Yeah, it's and there was one home, and like they did do a news report on it. I was like, wow, they're doing a news report on it, and it was on mainstream, and I was like, wow, this is a few years back, and like I said, they put it in the middle, not like a main story. 80 bloody OAPs, yeah, all dead in a home, and they quickly just sort of brushed it off and sort of just put a quick picture up of one nurse, sort of blamed her, and off you go, yeah. And then they went straight to a story, and they had like 5 minutes on some dog, nothing, just about a man and his dog, and it's like 5 minutes, and I was like, you see what they've done there? They've basically gone, all right, we told them, quick, move on.
Yeah, to something that's like fucking don't really mean like a dog. Is it a dog on a skateboard or some fucking ridiculous thing like that?
Yeah, change the thing. Quickly they threw out 1 or 2 stories, and then they threw this in, and then right now, happy time. Oh, look, cute. Oh, isn't that? Oh, look at that little doggy. What did she say about earlier? Think about. Oh, I can't remember. I see a picture of a nurse, but look at that doggy.
Well, we seem to have lost Adi. I think it's because perhaps because Nubian had put into the chat room Aid Hardy and a heart after it. So perhaps he's gone for a wank. But he's back. That was a quick wank. Hey.
I closed the wrong tab. Normally I have 2 different browsers running when I'm doing this, and I didn't. I'm just doing it all off the one browser tonight, and I just closed the wrong fucking tab. I'm sorry.
So it weren't because Nubin had put Aid Hardy in a little love heart, so you're gonna have to have a.
Oh no! I didn't read that.
Oh, did you not read that? Oh, yes.
Oh no, I didn't. Well, thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much.
Nubin, who's one of our Swedish listeners up there in Sweden, and sends all the rest of the chat room, just like Apple Charlotte sends all the rest of the chat room into some sort of masculine, I don't know, some sort of masculine cockfight, shall we say? Erect, menacing.
Hang on a minute. Did you see that? Watch. You know what that is?
Star of David.
Hey. No one would have believed. Nothing. No, it's what they used to do on Star Trek, isn't it? Look, I'm being beamed up. Clever shit.
Yeah, that didn't work that really, because what you needed to do is you needed to do your fade, and then fade yourself away like this. This is how you do it, right? I'm going to show you. This is how you do it. you go.
You see, people will be realising that you're really sat in a bush shelter.
And I come back.
Like the little noise.
Yeah, it's like everybody gets it wrong. You know, in the original Star Trek, what is the noise that the doors make? No. No, this is actually how they did the door. That is seriously what the sound effect was. Seriously.
You've not got a cold, AD, otherwise that Michael Jackson wig would have been covered in snot, wouldn't it? Could you imagine if it had set on fire because because it like they did on that Pepsi commercial?
Yeah, like it did. Yeah. Yeah. So no. Yeah.
10 minutes left. Shill.
Mark, come on, talk to us.
Mark, shoot. As you can see, we're running out of things to do. We're playing with our green screens and disappearing and becoming, And Adie's decided to go. I'm not going to do it because if I do it, I've got loads of snot in my nose and
Okay, let's talk. What about the latest press? So we got the Royals, right? Have you noticed how the Andrew stories just disappeared and it's all about Meghan and and what's his face in it? And it's weird, isn't it, that it's just constant. I've done a few videos just where I'm going to log into my my email, and as I go to log in, I get the MSN headlines, and every time there's like 3 different stories about them. It's like, what the? It's obvious as day that they're just trying to sweep under the carpet around the Andes, dirty pedo past, and just highlight Meghan and this shit.
On the BBC website, there is in the bottom corner, there's a story that says Prince Andrew uncooperative over Epstein inquiry. So a U.S. attorney, Jeffrey Berman, says FBI has contacted the Duke of York's lawyers and he's uncooperative, so he's not going to go back, is he? For fuck's sake! I mean, it's just they're hoping it's just going to just die down.
Yeah.
Die down. And apparently, prostate cancer overtakes breast cancer as the most common cancer. So there you go, women. There's a win for you, innit? You know, for a start, you can just have a mammogram, and if you find out, and then we have got to have our fingers up the arse before we're finding out. So it's a win. More prostate cancer.
Sorry, I'm just trying to work out whether you class that bit as a win or a lose.
Well, I class it as a win for women because prostate cancer.
No, I mean the up your arse.
Oh, have you had it?
What?
A prostate exam?
No.
At your age?
How old do you think I am?
You should have had about 2 by now.
No, I've not. No.
I've had one. It's not good. It's not good. It's there were emotions ran high.
Hang on a minute. God, New Being wants to know why we've got green screens.
Because they're very cool, aren't they? We could put
believe it or not, it's dead cheap. StreamYard started to offer it as a thing that you don't have to pay for or anything. It was just there.
I think it's only there if you're on a package like we are.
Oh, is it part of the thing so that you could multi-platform?
Yeah. So it's
right. Okay, I didn't realise that. Right.
Package. There's basic, and then there's like professional, which we're on the basic package, but the free package, I don't know if it's on there.
Right. Okay.
And if it is on there, it won't be on there for very long because they do like to, they restrict it so that people choose to pay rather than.
No, but the reason we've done the green screen thing is just because it just looks better than looking at my bloody wall.
Yeah,
and
looking at my house and all.
Yeah, with I mean, Jason's about to have some renovation work done, so God knows where he's actually going to end up in his house for a bit. So it just kind of, I don't know, it just tidies it up, and it costs nothing. So why not?
Yeah, exactly. That's why we've done it. What about your green screen, Shill?
Well, I think I'll have to get one, won't I?
It's only like a bit of cloth.
It's only a green bit of cloth.
We're getting all secrets away here, aren't we? I mean, this people are wondering, oh well, what sort of sorcery is this that these two people are doing on my YouTube channel, my YouTube viewing, and what sort of? Oh, there he is. He's the BBC News. Hey,
there you go. That's how hard it is to work for the BBC. Look.
Can you play videos on the back of that?
No, you can't. And if you could, I was going to buy a 29-second loop of the BBC newsroom like that.
No, not yet, but we will be able to. Bear in mind, this is just brand new stuff that StreamYard have done, and you have to do it on Chrome. You can't do it. I used to broadcast on Firefox, but I don't. Right, it won't work on Firefox. Yeah. So it's obviously something that's just being developed. So we're looking forward to it, because I got a GIF of World Trade Center 7 falling, and I was wanting that. I wondered if that had worked behind me, but it doesn't. So we, just wait. It will do at some point.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I like them. It's good to, you change it. You got Linda Lusardi up there. It's always a good thing. I used to have her on my bedroom wall.
Oh, you'll be you and Leeds will have a lot in common. Leeds is this is my favourite one.
Coronation Street guy.
Oh God, Jim.
I'm sorry, I forgot. I've got to duck weather.
If only that was the true weather.
Here in East Anglia, it's going to be like, war, carrot crunching and all that. Down here in London, it's just going to be fucking no white people at all. Over here in Cornwall, fucking hell, don't even bother. Cardiff, it's going to be 20, which will be nice for them. The lovely Welsh people in Cardiff. In North Wales, they're also on 20. And up in Scotland, where Apple Charlotte is, it's going to be 18 and 17. Their degrees up there. There's a little bit of a green thing there. I don't know what that means. I don't know whether that means it's going to be a bit colder there. But if you live there, don't worry about it. Just stop in the house and put lots of heating on, because you can afford it.
And if you believe any of that, you'll believe that.
You will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I think we're about done, aren't we, lads?
Yeah.
We've got 2 minutes left. Mark, what else you want to you want to say anything? Point to people anywhere. Point people to where they can find your stuff and what have you.
Just YouTube's Shield Destroy, and you'll find me with the picture, as you can see. I don't think there's any other Shield Destroyers out there with that name. So just go out there and put that name, and hopefully I'll pop straight up. But when I do searches on YouTube, quite often it's like you just put in Raconteurs News, for example, and for some reason you have to scroll forever to try and find it. It's like, why can't I've got the exact words? Why ain't that coming up first? So I don't know how YouTube search works, or whether it's just mine, but I'm sure you'll find me, people. If you haven't seen it.
And as Webby has just put, the Webster report has just put, heating is free. So yes, we know that, Webby. Heating is free. No need to choose between heating and eating. Listen, it's been we didn't expect really to be doing anything, and tomorrow I don't know what the engineer is going to say, whether he's going to say it's fucked and everything, because I'm fucking Sky off and everything. So what we'll do is we'll definitely do a show. Thanks to well, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? To Shill. Thanks to Shill for joining us. And I'm sorry it took us so long to be able to get you on. It was just I don't know what were going on. Whether it were in the end we got there and nobody tried to invade us. No Uni tonight in the chat room. I hope he's okay. But our pleasure. Well done to him for his show last night that he did with somebody. I think it's first show he's done without us. So thanks to everyone for watching. Thank you to everyone who's been contributing to the chat room. If you could give us a thumbs up and subscribe to us and put notifications on, and we will try to make things as good for you as we possibly can, and that includes great guests and little bits of fun between me and Aid. So, Adi, what's your final word?
We're doing something tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we'll do something tomorrow. So hopefully we'll speak to you again tomorrow. And thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us.
See you soon.
All right. See you all tomorrow, everybody. Love you.